Hello students, before we start our chapter, I would like to request you all to watch our introductory 2 videos given by me so that you will be clear about the 3-step strategy to do Dhamaka in physics exams. We have given the videos in the description box, or you can just click on our videos displayed at the end of this video for either introductory 2 videos or the next videos. Okay then, let's enjoy physics by Mr. Patel, who has a long, profound experience of 29 years of teaching physics in Sainik School, Balachand.
Mathematical treatments of the LC oscillation. We have studied about the LC oscillation with the figures. Now how the charge surges or oscillate harmonically, perform simple harmonic motion. Now we will see the mathematical steps of this. Suppose a capacitor C is charged to the maximum charge at t is equal to 0 to the Qm. In some book it is written as a Q0 also. So this is a Q0, in some book it is given that is maximum, or you should see the words also, which is maximum or instantaneous current. So connected to an inductor L, this is inductor, this is fully charged. The moment the circuit is completed, the current capacitor will start discharging and current will flow in the circuit. The charge decreases, Q decreases, current will increase. So the I is equal to minus dq by dt, that is induced EMF across and that it induces the EMF. This current flows through the inductor induces the induced EMF. According to Lenz's law, it is given by at that instant, any instant, EMF induced in the inductor is equal to minus di by dt. We know that the flux will leak due to the current flowing in that, and flux is directly proportional to I. So flux is equal to some constant, that is called the inductance of an inductor, and that is Li. So d phi by dt is equal to induced EMF according to Lenz's law, second law of Faraday, and that is equal to d phi by dt, that is equal to L di by dt, that is minus L di by dt. So potential difference across the capacitor is at that instant will be, we know that when charge is Q, capacitance of a capacitor is C, then voltage, potential difference or voltage between these two, positive, negative, and C will be Q by C. Correct? That is, voltage is V is equal to Q by C, voltage across the capacitor. According to Kirchhoff's loop rule, the total potential changes across the closed loop is 0, that is minus L di by dt, correct, plus Q by C, that is the potential drop across the capacitor, that is equal to 0. So therefore plus d square Q upon dt square plus Q by C is equal to 0. You can take from here also d square Q upon dt square. Why? Because according to Lenz's law, that is one increases, other decreases. So that is a plus. So d square Q upon dt square, you can take this one also. L di, I is rate of change of current, I is dq by dt, I is equal to dq by dt. So di by dt is equal to d square Q upon dt square. So equation will become L, and this is minus 1, correct. So minus minus will be plus. So that will be plus L d square Q upon dt square plus Q by C is equal to 0. Then divide by L to the each one. So this will d square Q upon dt square plus Q upon LC, Q upon LC, that is equal to 0. This is a differential equation of the second order and can be given as written as d square Q upon dt square plus omega square Q, where omega square is equal to 1 upon LC, or omega is equal to 1 upon under root LC. So this angular frequency, as we have studied in the mechanics, you have studied d square x upon dt square is equal to kx is equal to 0. That is already you have studied in 11. We will see later on this comparison, the analog of the mechanical and the electrical. This is the linear differential equation of second order. This is second order d square Q. It is a general solution of the form Q is equal to A cos omega 0 t plus B sin omega 0 t. Say equation number 1. Now let us set the condition at t is equal to 0. We know time t is equal to 0, the capacitor was fully charged, the Q was maximum, that is Qm. As I told you, in some book it is written Q0 also. So, the Qm, this Q will be Qm at t is equal to 0. That is, put the 0 in this equation, A cos omega 0 t, that is t 0, that is cos 0, and we know the cos 0 is 1. So, this will be 1 plus B sin 0, this will be 0, sin 0 is 0, correct. Therefore, A is equal to Qm, cos 0 is 1 and this is 0. So, Qm is equal to A. Let us find out the value of B also. B will be 0. Let us see. dq upon dt is again, consider this equation. This, take the derivative of this, that is equal to cos nu minus sin, that is minus, and omega t 0 t, that is omega. So, minus omega 0 a sin omega 0 t, cos nu sin you have already studied, and sin nu cos, that is correct. So, plus omega 0 b cos omega 0 t, sin nu cos and cos nu minus sin, equation number 2. So, at t is equal to 0 as before, the q is equal to Qm. So, dq by dt is 0, that is maximum, derivative of the maximum, that is constant, is 0, you know already, derivative of 5, 6, so q is constant maximum, that is equal to 0, or you can write it as dqm upon dt also, right? That is understood. Comparing the 2 and 3, compare this equation 2 and 3, dq by dt is equal to this and dq by dt is 0, so 0 is equal to this one. 0 is equal to omega 0 a sin omega 0 t plus omega 0 b cos omega 0 t, correct. So, b is equal to 0, sin 0 is 0, t 0, that is this is 0, and cos 0 is 1, cos 0 is 1. So, this is b is equal to 0, because cos 0, this is 1, but that is equal to omega 0 b cos omega 0 t, whatever it value, but total value is 0. So, this term also will be 0. So, b is equal to 0. So, q is equal to qm cos omega 0 t, correct. So, hence from the equation 1, put the value of a and b, this is 0, b is 0, so this term will be 0, correct, and this will be, so a cos omega, a is equal to qm, a is equal to qm, so it is equal to qm cos omega 0 t. We have got the value of a, that is qm, and this term is 0, b is 0, correct. So, I is equal to minus dq by dt, that is equal to omega 0 qm sin omega 0 t. The current is equal to, now minus dq by dt, we have got the value of q is equal to qm cos omega 0 t. So, that is derivative of the q, omega 0 qm, take the derivatives of this, sin omega cos nu sin. So, derivative of cos is sin. So, I is equal to Im sin omega 0 t. This is maximum current. In some book it is written I0, here it is small im. You can use any symbol. So, Im maximum current is omega 0 qm, angular frequency into maximum charge. Thus, the charge on the capacitor plate that oscillates simple harmonic motion, correct. This is the sinusoidal equation of simple harmonic motion. The charge oscillates, correct. This is q is equal to qm cos omega 0 t. Current also moves to and fro, back and forth, oscillating. So, it oscillates harmonically, performs SHM, simple harmonic motion in short, with angular frequency omega 0. Omega 0 is equal to 1 upon under root LC. So, omega 0 we know, that is 2 pi upon t. If angle described is one rotation, in one rotation, what is the time? Time period t, capital T, and angle described in radian is 2 pi. So, 2 pi upon t, 1 upon t is frequency, that is 2 pi nu. This is angular frequency, this is linear frequency. So, 2 pi nu is equal to 1 upon under root LC. So, nu is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. Mechanical analog of LC oscillation. The LC oscillations are similar to the oscillation of mass spring system, that is mass spring or block spring. Block is attached or mass is attached. In LC system, the energy alternates between the electrical energy UE and the magnetic energy UB. While in the mass or block spring system, the energy transfer from potential to the kinetic form. C acts like the spring, while L acts inductor. Capacitor acts like a spring, where inductor L acts like a inertial, that is M, mass of the inertial mass. Q is to the displacement. The charge is analog of the displacement in the mechanics, and current I is the analog of V, So, equation d square x upon x is the displacement, this angular frequency. D square x upon dt square plus omega 0 square x is equal to 0. And in the electrical oscillations, d square q upon dt square plus omega 0 square q is equal to 0. Here charge oscillates, here mass oscillates. So, mass, that is omega 0 is equal to under root k by m, and omega 0 is equal to here in electrical 1 upon under root LC. Correct. So, F force is equal to m into dV by dt, mass into acceleration. Acceleration, you know, rate of change of velocity. So, dV by dt is the rate of change of velocity, that is equal to m. Velocity is equal to dx by dt, rate of change of displacement, that is d square x upon dt square. In electricals, EMF is minus L di by dt, that is equal to minus L d square q upon dt square. So, L plays the role in the electrical oscillation, which is being played by the mass in the mechanical oscillation of the mass spring system. Now, let us see the symbol. Mechanical system, this is the electrical system. The mass is m, inductor here L. L is plays the role which is being played by the mass in the mechanical oscillation. Displacement x, the charge q. The velocity v is equal to dx by dt, the current I is equal to dq by dt. Force constant k, reciprocal of the capacitance 1 upon C. Mechanical energy is equal to half Ka square, this is potential energy, plus half mv square, kinetic energy. Here total energy is equal to this electrical energy 1 half q square by 2 plus magnetic energy half Li square. Now 7.11 to 259. Correct. So that the free oscillation of an LC circuit, the sum of the energy stored in the capacitor and the inductor is constant in time. Let Q0, actually here it is given in your book Q0, in some time they have used Qm, as I told you, in some book it is given, in same book sometimes it is used Q0, that is maximum charge. We initially charge on the capacitor where time t is 0. Let charge the capacitor be connected. Now, when you connect the charged capacitor to an inductor, what will happen? The charge will start reducing and current will increase. Current flows in the circuit. Thus, LC oscillation will produce, charge will oscillate harmonically. Therefore, omega is equal to 2 pi nu, as we have studied the theory. So, 1 and that is 1 upon under root LC. At any time q and I are given by the qt is equal to q0 or qm, sometimes they have used qm also, maximum charge into cos omega t. So, I is equal to derivative of the dq by dt, the cos derivative of cos is minus sine. So, minus q0 omega sine omega t ka omega. So, that is minus q0 omega sine omega t. So, energy electrical energy is given by the equation half CV square, as we have studied, that is equal to half Q square by C. Value of the V we have put in the terms of Q. So, half Q square by C, that is equal to half 1 upon 2C Q0 square, that is Q is equal to Q0 cos omega t. So, square of the Q is Q0 square cos square omega t. So, magnetic energy is given by half Li square, that is equal to half L Q0, I is this is di by dt I square, that is you can take minus Q0 minus plus, that is actually is a minus 1. So, L Q0 square omega 0 square, correct, Q0 square omega 0 square sin square omega t. Therefore, UM magnetic energy is equal to Q0 square, correct. You write terms in the terms of the capacitor, you can write as a Q0 square upon 2C. This could be written as a 2C sin square omega t, that is omega square is equal to 1 upon LC. So, 1 upon LC, L will be cut, so that will be C. So, Q square upon 2C into sin square omega t. Sum of the energy U is equal to, we have taken in the same form C, because this is electrical energy in the form of Q and C. So, the electrical energy is Q0 square upon 2C cos square omega t, and magnetic energy is Q0 square upon 2C sin square omega t. So, Q0 square upon 2C sin square omega. So, this is common. So, Q0 square upon 2C into bracket cos square omega t plus sin square omega t, and that is 1. You know this sin square omega t plus cos square omega t, or cos square plus sin, any way you can take it. Order is immaterial, whether you take sin first or cos function first. That is, this is equal to 1, sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Therefore, U is equal to UE plus UM is equal to this one. This is 1. So, Q half Q0 square by 2C. That is constant, we know, initial energy of the capacitor. If it is a magnetic energy, then it will be half Li square. Transformer. Transformer is an electrical device that transfers or changes an alternating voltage from one to another of greater or smaller value. That is, it transfers the power at high voltage low current into a low voltage and high current, and vice versa. If the input the voltage is more, the current is less, then in the output voltage will be less and current will be more. That type of transformer is, suppose if the output voltage is more, then it is called the step up transformer. If it is output voltage is less than the input voltage, then it is step down. So, there are two types of transformer, step up and step down, correct. The principle of the transformer is works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. There are two coils, so it works on the mutual inductance. There are two inductance, electromagnetic induction phenomena are two, mutual induction and self induction. So, it works on the principle of mutual induction. The transformer consists of a set of coils. There are two coils, correct, insulated from each other. They are wound on a soft iron laminated core. This is a laminated core. So, it is wound on the soft iron laminated core. Either one on the top of the other, this is a primary coil and this is the secondary, red is the secondary. The secondary is wound on the top of the black one, that is primary, as in the figure A, or on the separate limbs, or it can be, or in the separate limb. Here in this figure, the primary is and secondary are on the separate limb. This is one limb, this is another limb. This is input, that is, input is called the primary, output is called the secondary coil. Correct? Limbs of the core as in the figure B, this is B figure. One of the coil is called the primary, this is input coil or primary. Another coil is called the output coil or secondary coil. So, if number of turns in the secondary is more than the primary, the NS is greater than the NP, then it is called, this is a, if NS is more than the NP, that is secondary coil has more turns, then it is step up, output voltage will be more. If this ratio is, this NS is 2 times the NP, then the output voltage will double. If it is 100 times, output voltage will be 100 times, and so on. If that is Vs is greater than Vp, Ns is greater than Np, then Vs will be greater than Vp. So this voltage Vs will be greater than Vp here, input voltage. Similarly, if Ns is less than Np, number of turns in the secondary is less than, that is correct, then output voltage will be less, that is step down. It stepping down, the steps down the voltage. Here it steps up, the voltage are stepped up, correct. This is a power Pi, but power is equal to Pi is equal to Po. We know that voltage can be increased or decreased at the cost of current. If here voltage is less, current will be more. Total V into I, that is power, that will be output power also. Power input is equal to power output. Remember that power cannot be step up or step down, correct? It can be stepped down if efficiency is not 100%, but cannot be, it can never be step up, correct? Power at the most, if efficiency of the transformer is 100%, the power input will be equal to power output. As we already discussed, the one of the coils called the primary coil has the NP turns, the other coil has called the secondary coil, and it has NS turns. N is the number of turns, S for secondary. Here P is the primary, N is the number of turns. So number of turns of the primary is represented by, symbolized by NP, and number of turns of the secondary is symbolized by NS. Often primary coil is it is input coil also called, and secondary coil is called the output coil, because output is obtained from the terminals of secondary coils and input is fed in the primary coil. So it is input coil or primary coil. Okay. When an AC voltage is applied, remember again, it cannot work for DC, because there should be change in the magnetic flux at the time. When an AC voltage is applied to the primary, what would happen? The resulting current produces an alternating, that is changing magnetic flux, which links with the secondary coil also. When current is passed in the primary, the resulting magnetic field due to the changing current, that varying magnetic flux will link also with the secondary coil and induces the EMF in the secondary coil. For an ideal transformer which has negligible resistance and all the flux in the core links both the primary and the secondary, there is no leakage. If it is an ideal transformer is that in which there is no leakage of the flux and no resistance. There is, it has some resistance, but negligible resistance. So we will consider as an ideal transformer. It is because it is made of copper coil. So it has a but negligible resistance. And flux leakage due to the laminated core, leakage of the flux is minimized. So 100% flux, whatever flux is with the primary, that will link with the secondary. When a voltage Vp is applied to it, then the induced EMF or the voltage in the secondary with the Ns turns according to Faraday's laws, there is Es is equal to minus N number of turns into flux Nf d phi by dt. d phi by dt, that is flux will be Ns time, number of turns is Ns. So whatever flux is associated with the primary, that will link with the secondary. So induced EMF in the secondary Es, that is equal to, or you can say Vs also, that is equal to Ns, because resistance is 0. So that is equal to Vs is equal to minus is there because Lenz's law, it is in the opposite direction. So Ns into d phi by dt. The alternating flux phi also induces an EMF called the back EMF. It will also induce an EMF, that is called the back EMF in the primary. This is say Ep, then that is equal to minus Np into d phi by dt. So Ep is equal to, remember, number of turns of the primary into d phi by dt. D phi by dt is same for both because there is no leakage of the flux. Whatever flux is in the due to the current in the primary, that will link with the secondary. For an ideal transformer, EP is equal to Vp, there is no loss of power, and Es is equal to Vs. So, for an ideal transformer, and the current taken from the secondary is say small. From the equation 1 and 2, we have already discussed, we can write as Vs is equal to minus Ns d phi by dt, instead of Es, write Vs. Similarly, for primary, Vp is equal to minus Np d phi by dt, flux is the same linkage. So, Vs upon Vp is equal to Ns upon Np. You can see from this, if Ns is more, is 10 times, Vs will be 10 times the Vp, correct? So, Ns will be equal to, or Vs is equal to Ns upon Np into Vp. You can change this, find out any Vs or Vp from the, if 3 are known. The transformer is assumed to be 100% efficient, no energy losses, that is, then the power input Pi is equal to power output. That is, for ideal transformer, there is no loss of energy, correct, during the operation of the, or using the transformer, operation of the transformer. The power input is equal to power output. So, power input is equal to input current into input voltage, that is Ip, current in the primary into voltage in the primary, Vp is equal to Is into Vs. So, Ip upon Is is equal to Vs upon Vp, and Vs upon Vp is equal to Ns upon Np. See, here it is in inversely, correct? Remember this. Since I and V both oscillate with the same frequency as a source, the current I and the voltage, they oscillate with the same frequency, that of the applied AC source. As we know that it cannot work for the DC, it works for the AC. So, the Vs is equal to Ns upon Np into Vp, and Is, current, is equal to Np upon Ns into Ip. Now, point to be remember, here we have considered that is an ideal transformer, correct? So, 1 and 2 we can write as the relation has been obtained using 3 assumptions. That is, we have considered here the ideal transformer, but it is not really so, not realistic, correct? So, in actual transformer, we have made some, for making it ideal transformer, we have made some assumption, that is primary resistance and the currents are small. There is resistance is negligible, that is small one, because it is a copper coil, it has some resistance, and the current in the primary is also less. The same flux links with the both primary and the secondary. We have assumed that there is no flux leakage, but there is some flux leakage, correct, with the secondary. But here we have assumed that there is no flux leakage, but very little flux escape from the core, little flux, that is negligible. The secondary current is small, the current in the secondary is small, correct, and transformer is assumed to be, that is 100% efficient. If Ns is greater than Np, the voltage is step up, as we had discussed earlier. So, Vs is greater than Vp, the transformer is said to be step up transformer, and there is a less current in the secondary. Voltage is more, current will be less, total power is the same than the primary. So, current will be less than that of in the primary, that is Np upon Ns. The Np primary turns is less than the Ns. So, this ratio will be less than 1, then current is also in the secondary is less than Ip, that primary current. So, secondary voltage is more, current will be less, and vice versa. For an example, let us see the example. For an example, if Np is equal to 100 tons, primary is 100 tons and secondary has 200 tons, so secondary voltage will be double, that Ns upon Np is 2. That is, or Np or reverse ratio will be half, Np upon Ns will be half. Thus, if 220 volt input at 10 ampere will step up, to 220 voltage, that will be 440, and current will be half, that is instead of 10 ampere it will be 5 ampere. Correct? Now energy losses, we have made some assumption, but actually there is not an ideal transformer realistic, but there is some flux leakage. Flux leakage due to the poor design of the core or air gap in the core. Correct? The resistance of the winding, the wire used for windings has some resistance. It is a copper coil, it has some resistance, and so energy is lost due to the heat produced. That is, heat will be produced by Joule's heat, that is called I square R, we know Joule's heating. In high current, low voltage winding, these are minimized by using thick wire. If the current is high, then how can we reduce the current? We have to reduce the resistance. Thick wire has less resistance. Correct? If current is more, we have to reduce the resistance by using thick wire. We know that thin wire has more resistance than thicker one. So thicker wire has the resistance is inversely proportional to the area. Correct? R is inversely proportional to A. The area is increased, that is thicker wire we can use. Third, AD currents. Alternating magnetic flux induces AD currents in the iron core, that causing the heating. They are whirlpool type currents, they cause heating. It has some important uses also, that is not in your course, but here it is unwanted. The AD currents, they produce heat and there is a loss, that is causing heating. This effect is, and that is also minimized by using laminated core. That is, iron core is used as which is laminated core to minimize this. Here there is no space, so I have not written, I will speak. The fourth one is the hysteresis loss. Correct? So we have to use, to minimize this hysteresis loss, use the material having the less hysteresis loss. That is, area of the hysteresis loop should be less for that. That is volume, not area.